nostalgic.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wax Nostalgic, a podcast where we turn the clock back on the good old days. I'm your co-host, Graham Johnstone.
I'm Sam Bagnall.
And I'm Ryan Kerwin.
And today,
Together
Ryan
we are
is
John Kerbags.
We are together, John Kerbags, the mutant composition of all of us. It's very strange.
Right, like you know how the Hydra, you cut off a head and a new one grows?
All that with penises.
Yes.
Wow, that came out of left field.
Well,
Listen, sometimes improv doesn't go the way you think.
I love it. I love that.
so welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about, starting out talking about TV. We've talked about TV a little bit in the past.
Which stands for television.
Yes, television.
Yeah.
Today we're going to specifically talk about non-cartoon shows that we talked about. So
yeah.
some live action shows that we watched when we were
With
kids.
actors and actresses.
Yeah. Is there
Actresses.
anyone who's particularly interested in going first? I'll go first.
Go, Sam, go.
Okay. So, first and foremost, my little short snippet at the beginning is one specific show that I remember from my childhood was at our cabin in Wisconsin that I've talked about in some previous episodes. The only show that would get through on my grandparents' TV in their cabin was Gilligan's Island. And so it was this like weird comfort thing where it was like no matter what, I would go sit on their bed in the cabin, turn on the TV, and without fail, it was Gilligan's Island.
Nice.
And I don't really remember the show all that much. I just remember it being kind of that just like comfortable, like I
Question
know it's
is,
going to be
did
on.
they ever get off that island?
Did they?
I think they're still there, but I'm not 100%
Probably
sure.
pretty old.
They're
yeah.
all skeletons.
Did you ever watch Gilligan's Island?
I watched episodes here and there.
Okay.
It was never like I was never like into it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it, but I know the theme song because whenever that show came up when I was a kid, my mom would sing the whole theme song.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you want to sing it for us now?
Oh, this is the tale of... See, I don't actually know. The Professor and Mary Ann. That's the end of it.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
So
wasn't Marianne kind of like a babe?
I think she was a
She was
babe.
an actress.
Yeah.
'Cause it was like
I mean, they're all actors, but her
Wasn't it the
character.
professor and his wife, and then Gilligan and Marianne?
yes, you're right. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it wrong. I got everything wrong.
No,
it was
right.
a sparrow. The minnow was a boat.
Okay. That's even further than I remember. Anyway,
There's like
that's
a line.
Journey out in the open with a boat called a minnow. I mean, no wonder they got stranded.
That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Jeez.
you're not leading with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, call it the whale or
right, or at least the grown-up fish.
the shark.
Kraken.
yeah.
Oh, I would ride on a boat called the Kraken.
Hell yeah. Me too.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Me too. Anyway, Gilligan's Island is not my main topic
Okay.
of conversation.
Got it.
Oh,
Sorry.
fake out.
I'm actually
We'll
going to
stop
talk
talking about
about Disney Channel was kind of the big thing when I was a kid, at least for my family. So there was a handful of shows on there that I remember. The main two being Sweet Life of Zack and Cody
Okay.
and That's So Raven.
Okay.
Which That's So Raven was about a girl who had psychic future telling powers, and she could see into the future, and then it would get her into all sorts of trouble because she only saw snippets of what happened, and then
Interesting. I had no idea that was about.
yeah,
Didn't it have the girl from Cosby Show?
Raven Simone.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So
Yeah.
like that was like kind of a play on her name, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was in the Cosby Show when she was little, and then when she grew up, she started her own show that was about. It was her namesake. It was about
Yeah.
her. But the whole premise of the show was that she could see into the future, and so that's what would get her into all of her antics. Was she would see a small
Antics.
snippet of something, and then she
Yeah.
would try to like course correct, and then end up making it happen or whatever.
So would you say that? Did you ever see the Nicolas Cage movie Next that came out in like
I
2007?
don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Next.
Yeah, he can
so.
project into the future and see like the different possible paths he could take.
Oh, okay.
I guess my question is, was that an adaptation of That's so Raven.
I doubt it was an adaptation, but it's a concept that seems
You
like
just
it
went
could
deep
work.
there, dude.
Yeah, Nick Cage is actually Raven Simone in disguise.
Like in a different, like in another dimension or another timeline or something.
I'm
right?
not too surprised. He's a pretty versatile actor.
Oh, he's so versatile.
So good. Did you see him when he was that flaming skeleton man?
Oh yeah. He committed. He flamed on.
Flamed on.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Yep.
But that was a good show. I really liked Sweet Life of Zach and Cody because those kids were like the same age as me. Dylan and Cole Sprouse were like the same.
Are they brothers?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
twins.
Okay.
So
I never saw that show, I don't think.
Okay.
So
basically, the concept was it was a family that lived in a hotel. The mom was like the hotel
that's why
singer
it was
or
spelled
something.
Suite.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little play on, a little pun, maybe
Little
play
pun,
on
yeah.
words.
I've heard of them.
But their mom
Ryan
was like the
Kerbags.
singer at the hotel bar or
Was
whatever.
she
and
also
so
a
they
babe
just-
like Marianne?
Was she the babe?
Yeah, I think she was.
Is she
but
a MILF?
There was like
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Pixar moms?
Have we heard of them?
just Pixar moms, just big butts and
Just like
big
skinny
boobs
ass
and tiny
waists.
waists.
Oh, like the woman from The Incredibles.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's the quintessential Pixar mom.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I saw like a TikTok and like these ladies were making fun of like the TikTok or the Pixar mom thing.
Oh,
It's pretty, and there is a perfect woman out there.
It's a Pixar mom.
and she's incredible.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway, continue.
yeah, there was a ton of shows on the Disney Channel, but one of my favorite, a line that I still somehow find a way to integrate into my daily life, not daily, but in Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, there was one time when the one brother dyed his hair like bright red, and he
Oh,
was like,
Embarrassing.
he was like, no, it was like,
Well,
it was
embarrassing
like,
for him.
like tomato red,
Oh,
but he
wow.
was like,
Like Ronald McDonald.
yeah, exactly. And he's like, I was going for a honey missed Auburn. And the other brother's like, honey, you missed Auburn by a long shot. And I just always think that's funny.
So wait, you incorporate that into your daily
I
life?
do manage to do it. I do manage to do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
catch
that's
me
really
outside.
funny.
Yeah.
Catch me outside. Yeah, that is like the that's your like
Wait, so
your
can you give,
punchline.
can
You're
you give
like-
an example of when you would use that line? 'Cause-
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be organic.
Oh,
It's got to be organic.
That's fair.
But I mean, most of the time I don't do the whole line, but I'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, I would consider that like a honey missed Auburn.
I see. So you use
Something
that
like
part of
that,
it. It's
yeah.
not like, someone's like, oh no, I missed my exit. And you're like, honey, you missed your exit by a mile.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. But yeah, I
And
guess
they're like, what are you doing in my car?
I guess I don't. I guess I don't have all that much more to talk about. There was a ton of shows on Disney Channel that I used to really like. That was like the type of TV that I grew up with, though. Like,
Yeah.
so
Nice.
yeah, more cartoons than live action stuff, really.
Oh,
Lots
wow.
of cartoons. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
I was kind of a half and half guy, you know.
yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about dairy
Half
products.
cartoon. I could swing either way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's a good skill to have. Yeah,
Especially as a child.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Especially
Leaves
if you're
lots of open doors.
a baseball player. Yeah.
The world is my oyster.
Yeah.
Jeez. Crack into that one. So that's, kind of a short one for me, but that's what I got.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll go next and I'll follow your pattern of one end channel, if that works.
Sure.
One end channel?
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you did there.
So the one would be when we were talking initially about live action shows from when we were kids. The one that popped into my head for some reason immediately was the show Mr. Belvedere. Did you guys ever see this show?
No.
Was that like, was he a butler or something?
Yes, exactly. So he was
Okay.
this British butler who I don't
It was
remember
like
all
an
the details,
80, it was
but-
a late 80s show.
Yeah,
huh?
it was
Okay,
like,
I think I
yeah.
remember vaguely that show, yes.
Yeah, so it's like a family in somewhere in America, San Francisco, let's say. It has
rich
this
family, you know?
British butler who works for them, and
Of course. He's
you know,
British.
he's all proper, and the kids are all crazy and stuff like that. But they were just, I don't know. I don't even think it was really made for small children, but for some reason my siblings and I just loved that show. So yeah, we were living in Hong Kong, and like a lot of the English language television was just like old stuff. I think I might have brought this up in the cartoons. There was things like Mighty Mouse that, were way before our times, otherwise, that kind of stuff.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse,
Yeah, yeah, that was good.
But Yeah, no, there's a lot of good burns, like the kids would always make fun of him for being overweight, which is hilarious.
Was he?
Yeah, making fun
Like
of
a
fat
little bit.
people is great.
Yeah, the main thing I remember was the kid was doing an impression of him. London Bridge is falling down because I stepped on it. So
that's a line he tries to incorporate.
Incorporate that into his daily life.
yeah, someone misses their exit.
That's
and
why
I
you
just
always
that.
say that to me.
Yeah. But no, it was a pretty fun show. But yeah, then the channel, since you were talking about Disney Channel, I think the channel that my siblings and I watched a lot more of was Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And they had some like
Nickelodeon.
You're right there. No? Yeah, he's on a loop. Just let it happen.
Just reset me.
Yeah. But they had some like actually pretty good shows at that point. I almost was going to try to segue into it in the middle of your thing where you're just like, I don't have all that much to say, and I was like, all that.
Oh yeah.
Which was where Keenan and Kel got their start,
Yeah.
and I think Amanda Bynes got her start there and then like transitioned into the Amanda
show after
which was a hilarious show.
Mm-hmm.
I know that she somehow got a little bit crazy maybe as she got older, which happens with a lot of child
Did
stars.
you guys see? Speaking of that, the expose on the big producer guy. I can't remember his name.
No, I heard about it, but
I saw that it exists. I have not watched it yet.
I watched
but
it.
I've heard
And it's
that
pretty
it's like
crazy.
pretty crazy.
Like, and
yeah.
he I think is the reason why Amanda Bynes went off the deep
Lost her
end.
mind.
which is a shame
He
because
was
she
like manipulative, controlling, like
Yeah.
like just. I don't think he was like he wasn't a sex predator, but like people around him apparently were.
yeah.
But he like just made like this really toxic work environment with little kids.
Sure.
yeah, which is not
So-
cool
How
generally.
people lose
Which
their
man,
mind.
it sucks because I feel like and going into like a little serious is like all these kids, they all get they don't know any better, and like
Right.
all these people like we're gonna exploit you because you're making us money, even their parents.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
No, it's true. And it's also unfortunate because I think Amanda Bynes, like, even as like an early teen, she had really good comedic sensibilities.
Yeah.
So
that was her whole thing. I think is
Right.
like they were like, oh, this chick is like great. She's
got a
like funny.
personality.
right,
she's-
right, yeah. So like in another
Yeah.
world where she like grows up in a supportive environment and becomes a like top tier adult comedian, that could have been fun.
Yeah.
So yep, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like Hollywood's kind of falling apart.
Right.
Start the new Hollywood.
P. Diddler and all this other
That's
stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Keep that hashtag going. No, I don't know.
Hashtag P. Diddler.
But yeah, no. Then there was like Sister was one that we liked a lot.
Sister,
Good one.
Yeah, smart guy.
What's smart guy?
Was
Was that might have been on Disney Channel? No, I think it was on Nickelodeon as well. But it's like it was I think those actresses' little brother.
Oh.
And he played this like 11-year-old kid who was in high school classes and smarter than everyone around him. So
Yeah.
Tien Tamara Mowry.
Right. And their brother was I can't think of it right now, but I'm pretty sure it was their brother was on that show. So they
Bill.
kind of had their own little shows. Yeah, Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Bill Mowry.
Yes.
Like Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah. It was actually just Bill Murray playing a
As
young
their
boy.
little-
Yeah.
I'm Raven Simone.
Right.
Now
Well,
I'm...
yeah. Well,
He just
he saw
Mission
Nick Cage as
Impossible
Raven
himself.
Simone, so he's like, yeah, I might as well be Bill Mowry. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keenan and Kel was like my favorite one.
Was Sabrina the Teenage Witch on
yeah.
that? On Nickelodeon, or was it on
I thought
something
Sabrina
else?
was on like CW or like WB or something
Could've
like
been.
one of
I'm
those.
not sure because I think Clarissa Explains It All, which was Melissa
That-
Joan Hart's show before that. I
that
think
was
that was
on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and I thought that maybe Sabrina was as well. But now that you mention
I
it,
thought I remember watching Sabrina like on regular network TV.
okay, maybe so. Yeah,
Maybe
but that,
not.
that was
I-
another good one. Yeah,
I can't
That was a
remember.
fun one.
yeah, one of those good fun kids shows from
Yeah.
late '90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
that you mentioned some of those shows, Sister, and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I had more I could have talked
Sister, I never knew how much I missed her. Yeah.
about. Roger.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. They always had to have like the annoying friend who would drop by. Yeah. I guess like Steve Urkel was kind of like the prototype of that,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Mr. Belvedere and Nickelodeon. Those are my topics.
Hell yeah.
Wanna?
Did you watch like later Nickelodeon shows like iCarly? I think was
I think it was just a little after my time.
Nickelodeon. Okay,
Yeah.
and then there was Zoe 101,
I have no
which
idea.
was
yeah.
Zoe
I've
Spears.
never even heard of that.
That's Britney Spears' sister.
Oh, I didn't
was
even know
the
that Britney
main
Spears had a
star of
sister.
that.
Yeah.
It was like they were at a college or something, or a boarding school, and it was just
Gotcha,
this girl who was
Boring. Yeah, I'm just joking.
hot.
Okay.
Britney Spears' sister.
She was a babe.
Jamie Lynn, I think. Jamie Lynn Spears.
I guess I've heard that
does,
name.
yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah.
She was a babe.
Total babe. Yeah.
Tell Bob.
Yeah, they have lots of fun shows. It is, now that we're talking about these shows, it does kind of blur in my head because now I'm thinking, I think Boy Meets World might have been a Disney Channel one.
Yeah, I think it was. I was gonna gonna say Boy Meets World.
That was on. I think that was on TGIF, like on NBC.
Was it? Oh, I don't know.
Pretty sure.
It might have been.
Maybe it was licensed to Disney Channel later or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe, or maybe it was licensed from Disney Channel.
Yeah, could be. We should get
It's also confusing.
Topanga on the phone.
Yeah, Beans. Wait, Beans was from something else. Beans was from
Beans.
the other show that had the similar character.
Oh, are you thinking of? When you say similar character, do you mean like the brother of
The main character looked almost exactly like the guy from Boy Meets World.
There's the Wonder Years?
No, it wasn't
Okay.
that. Anyway, we can move on. It's
Okay.
right at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it.
All right. Well, we'll keep moving. When you think of it, just shout it out with no context.
Yeah. Disco.
Yeah. Disco.
Disco.
A little Disco Sam over
I
there.
remember it because I just edited that episode. I'll never forget.
Oh, yeah. No, we need to remember that that's his name from now on. Sam Disco Bagnall.
Disco.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Go for it, Graham. Do you have a thing in a channel? You don't have to. You can totally break this whole pattern.
Well, I was telling you guys before when I was really little. I just remember I don't remember this necessarily, but my mom always said that I loved Three's Company.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Even though watching it now, I'm like, some of these, there's some innuendos. It's
I'm
not
sure.
necessarily kid friendly.
Yeah.
But I also apparently loved MacGyver.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
I could see you as a
Yeah,
MacGyver
dude.
guy.
yeah, it was So I love
Yeah.
MacGyver.
I've seen how you've hooked up some of the lights and
I'm
things in
MacGyver
here.
this
Yeah.
place, man.
For those who can't see behind the camera, which is everyone.
Just everyone. For those of you that can't see behind the camera.
Yeah. There's a light with an umbrella.
Yes, we built
hanging from
a
the
studio
ceiling.
here. Yeah, that almost fell down last time. And then Magnum PI.
Oh, yeah.
I remember watching that one, and I was like, dude, this guy, he drives a Ferrari, a red Ferrari. He lives in a mansion on Hawaii.
Right. He's always in a helicopter.
He's got that
yeah.
freaking mustache, dude.
Yeah.
Guy had it all, man.
Setting really good standards
Yeah.
for kids.
Right.
I want to
I'm
be.
going to grow up to be Magnum PI.
I want to be Magnum PI.
That's right. Yeah.
He was flying a helicopter, dude. That guy was living up, man.
He got
Yeah.
it. And look at you now.
Look at me, I'm
crushing
a real
it.
Magnum
Look at you.
PI.
You could have a
Well,
mustache
you're a
if you
drone
wanted.
operator. That's like a helicopter.
I'll show you a picture of me with a mustache. I can grow a pretty
Yeah, I can see it.
fluffy mustache.
Are you going to make sure to inlay it in the YouTube version of this for at least 30 seconds?
Sure, yes,
Okay.
I promise.
You should just make sure it just covers just your face.
Just edit it over you in the video
I'll just
so
crop
that
it
it's
to
just
just
a
this.
marionette of you.
Right, like the Canadians in South Park. Yeah.
So that was that, but then got older, and then it was I think I just remember TGI Friday or TGIF or whatever it was. Every Friday, there's a lineup of shows that every kid watched. Everybody in school. It was I think it kind of changed over time, but I remember the lineup. But I remember that there was Full House.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the first one that played.
Classic.
Which I liked it okay. I remember my dad was like, "This is stupid," because I mean, really, it was.
Right.
The comedy was so cheesy, kind of.
Yeah.
But it was kind of heartwarming, and as a kid, it's that stuff doesn't matter. You just cared about the characters and
Joey
it's funny.
Gladstone and Uncle Jesse. And,
Right, yeah.
all these quintessential loving family characters. Apparently Bob Saget in that show is the nice put
Right.
together dad who's all clean freaking stuff, and in real life Bob Saget is just a total degenerate.
Totally.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I do know he does some pretty blue comedy.
Yeah, I guess he's. I mean, at least he's been cast as a degenerate in real life, just
He was so I guess there's a story behind that of I can't remember the exact specifics, but he was cast on that show, and he's like, I don't want to play this, and they're like, I think it was something like you have to because it's in your contract, so you're too
Like,
bad kind
Too
of thing.
fucking bad.
So yeah, but that's funny because I never knew that either. But even before the show, if you listen to his comedy, it was always raunchy.
Have you seen?
And then afterwards, I'm like, wow, this guy's like next level disgusting.
Yeah. Have you seen Entourage? The show Entourage.
Yeah.
You seen that?
I used to love that show.
He plays himself in Entourage.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
he's like the Entourage is about like basically Marky Mark when he was younger and how he came to fame.
Gotcha.
And so it was about his younger life. He was famous. He had this big house and he lived next door to Bob Saget.
Yeah.
And Bob Saget just like always had just like tons of women over and they were just doing cocaine and just like whatever, and he just played himself like he was just
America's
Bob Saget.
dad.
America's, yeah, right.
But yeah, that's
I
funny.
find that I've always found that hilarious.
That is pretty funny. Did you guys ever? I know that this was like a horribly poor taste website even in the day, but did you guys ever see TouretteSguy.com back in the day?
Tourette's guy, yes, of course.
Do you remember there was like
Yeah.
a super cut of just like when he would shout Bob Saget?
Bob Saget.
Oh, Bob Saget! Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. Very specific reference.
The old internet, man.
Yep.
It's-
E-Bombs World.
Yeah, all that good
You
stuff.
guys remember that? Mm-mm. Oh man, you're
I've
missing
seen
out.
clips on things from there.
I
Yeah,
don't think so.
You guys remember that song that was like a music video? It was like Big Ass Titties.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I don't think
It
I'm
was these
interested,
rappers-
but
Dude, actually, I mean, I don't know. We thought it was so funny when like in college or whatever, but it was like these rappers and they had this song and it was like Mariah Carey got them big ass titties. Holly Berry, she got them big ass titties.
All right,
Angelina Jolie got them big ass.
it was doing the job of
dope
BuzzFeed
ass
before
song.
BuzzFeed,
Yeah.
just creating a list. You know, yeah.
What's the lines? I'm down for these C cups, these D cups, whatever. I'm down to get in as long as you're not spending my cheddar or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
songbird of our
sometimes-
generation.
That's right.
The
Sometimes you
video
gotta
was
force a
like
rhyme.
these like still images of these guys would pop up and then their mouths would move and stuff. Like it was
Marionettes, yeah.
it was very like Web 1.0.
Sure.
Nice.
Like anyway.
TheBlackSheep.com.
Anyway.
Oh, there was also
funny.
albino black sheep.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
albino
yeah.
black sheep. That's
Yeah.
the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the llama song from there?
Llama song?
I want to say yes,
wanna
but
say
I
yes,
also
too, but I
want to
don't-
say no.
I'm not
Like,
sure.
It was like pretty much nonsense, but of course that means that I loved it so much. I could sing it. I don't know if it's worth our time.
You should sing it.
Here's a llama, there's a llama, and another little llama. Fuzzy llama, funny llama, 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 duck. Llama, llama, cheesecake llama, tablet, brick, potato llama, 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 mushrooms llama, 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 duck. I'll cut it off there. There's more to it, but
I'm more impressed that you memorized all
Yeah, that was sick.
there's more. I won't do more, but there's
It's
more.
like I have the whole bridge portion of Ultimate Showdown memorized.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Do you don't know Ultimate Showdown?
This
It was-
is the ultimate showdown
Is this a-
of ultimate
is this a song?
destiny.
It was a song and like a YouTube video, and it was
Oh.
like it starts with like Godzilla is stomping around Tokyo City
Yeah.
like a big playground, and then suddenly Batman burst from the shade and hit Godzilla with a bat grenade, and Godzilla got
Or
pissed
something
and
like
began
that.
to attack and didn't expect to be blocked by Shaq, who proceeded to open up a can of Shaq Fu, and Aaron Carter came out of the blue and started beating up
Excellent.
Shaquille O'Neal, and they both got hit by the Batmobile.
Yeah.
That's you know
That's great. That is word for word. Also, do you know who did that song?
no.
So this is a fun piece of trivia about old internet, which I guess we've gone on to that topic now. I'm sorry that we.
Okay, well,
Yeah, we'll cut you off. We'll let
on
you
old
back.
internet
We'll
now.
let you back in a sec.
There's a guy called Neil Cicierega. Does that name ring any bells?
No.
Does Potter Puppet Pals ring any bells?
Yes.
So the same guy did Ultimate
It's a
Showdown
pipe
of.
bomb.
Yes, exactly. Same guy did Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny in those videos. He also did the Potter Puppet Pals. Did you ever see those ones?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it was like either like actual puppets of the Harry Potter characters doing little skits, or for a while there was like animated versions, that kind of stuff. And then he also started doing these like remixes of songs, and the ones that I know best, in fact, maybe all of them, they're all like vaguely Smash Mouth themed.
Sick.
So the first one, it's called Mouth Sounds. And so there's a lot of Smash Mouth mixed in with a bunch of others, just like popular, 80s, 90s songs, that kind of stuff. The next one is called Mouth Silence, and it doesn't have any Smash Mouth, but has a lot of just like backdoor allusions to Smash Mouth.
Let's check this out.
Yeah. Then there's Mouth Moods, Mouth Dreams. And I think that might be all of them so far. But they're just like it's very comedic mashups in that like he'll put songs together where you're just like no way. Like, for instance, in Mouth Moods, I believe it is, there's one where it's We Will Rock You as like the backing track, but the SpongeBob SquarePants theme as like the what's being sung over the top.
Sick.
And there's like Vanessa Carlson, making my way downtown. But it's got Back in Black. You know.
Well, we'll have to dive into this on a bonus episode or something. But I suppose we should let Graham finish his TGIF conversation. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Graham.
Cool. So anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
No. So probably my favorite one though was Family Matters.
Oh yes, yeah.
Steve Urkel was like hilarious. I don't know, like I love his character. He was obnoxious.
And Reginald Vell Johnson was the dad, who was also the cop from Die Hard.
That's right. Cop from Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't the guy who played Steve Urkel going on to do? He's about to be like a villain in something.
Oh really?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Like,
Why can't I think of his name right now?
Well, do you remember when he came out as Urkel?
Yeah, Stefan
And
Urkel. Yeah.
And he's like, he was like all suave and stuff, and all the girls are like, "Oh, I like you now."
Jaleel White.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He would go into like his.
Didn't he have like
machine
what was that?
built.
He had like a magic potion or something.
Yeah. He
or-
had like this like cool juice or whatever. He had to put in the machine, and he
Cool
goes
juice.
inside, and he comes out all this smoke, and he's like, "Hey, girls," you know?
Yeah. He had
wish
his like
that
suspenders. And he's like,
Yeah.
Got any cheese?
Right.
I wish Cool Juice existed.
"Cool juice."
Yeah.
And then I swear Boy Meets World was on that,
Okay.
but
yeah.
Could have
I
been.
could be completely mistaken.
Did you? Okay. I wonder if. Did you ever see Wonder Years?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was like the older brother of the guy from Boy Meets World.
Right.
Yeah. It was like Fred and Ben Savage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. I can,
you're right.
I know. I can.
Oh, yeah,
I
I'm
can
right.
envision them right now next to each other. I'm like, they do actually look similar.
And one of them.
I didn't even really put that together until just now.
One of them was the little boy from The Princess Bride in like the Grandpa read me a story sections.
Oh shit, you're
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What? That is deep.
That was
that's
Fred Savage.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ben was the one who was in
Wish
Boy
I had
Meets
a
World.
cool name.
Wow.
Like Sam?
No, like Fred Savage.
Oh, you can
Oh yeah, you're so savage,
Sam
bro.
Savage.
you can just change your name to that if you want.
Sammy Disco Bags.
Sammy Disco Savage.
Disco Savage. Wow.
Disco Savage, dude.
that's
There
your
we
name.
go. So
Yeah.
I'm Disco Savage. Welcome to Wax Nostalgia.
I like that. Yeah. If you want to have like a stage name, I think you could do
like it,
worse.
man.
Yeah.
I like it.
Disco Savage.
What was that? I used to watch that show with Michael J. Fox.
Spin City.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was actually one of
Yeah.
my. I love that show.
That was a great show.
It was
yeah.
really good.
But that's not what you're talking
No,
about. Okay.
it was like an '80s show.
Oh.
I can't remember the name of it. It had it was about a family,
Yeah, I don't think I've watched it, but I know which
and he
one
was
you're
like a
talking
young
about.
Republican guy.
Yeah.
and-
I can't think of it.
I can't think of it. Why can't I think of this thing?
I got the internet.
I've got the internet.
Oh, Disco's got the internet.
Disco Savage.
Old Disco Savage over here.
What was that called? Family Ties.
That might be right. I think you're right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to watch that when I was a kid. I like that show too.
Ties.
Nice. I think we might
Teen
have.
Wolf.
One time,
Oh.
I remember very specifically. There's an episode where he goes and he's like very like Michael J. Fox character, very concerned, like so somber, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Calls his dad like over. They sit in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He's like, "Dad, I wanted to tell you something." And his dad's like, "It's okay, son. You can tell me." And he's like, "Dad, I did it. I had sex." And his dad's
Is that
like,
something you try to integrate into your daily life? It's one of those lines you try to really.
"Dad, I had sex."
Honey, you missed Auburn.
And then whatever mine was. What was mine?
Yep.
Yep.
I don't remember. Rewind the tape.
Then you get
No,
better
but
callbacks.
I remember like I
It's
was
London Bridge's
you
fault.
know,
Oh, yeah.
I was a kid and I was watching with my parents and my mom's like, "No, that's not okay. You got to wait until marriage. Don't have sex." And I'm like, "All right."
Cool.
How's that working out for you?
I'm 9.
I don't even know what this is.
Never
That's right.
even winked it before.
Yeah. Save this conversation for later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Funny.
Yeah.
and then like my obsession with British comedies. was another thing. But like I
Monty
mean, that's a
Python
whole
type stuff,
that's
or?
a whole other like rabbit hole we could go down. But like,
Yeah.
well, I remember I used to watch PBS, and the things that I remember was Are You Being Served? Was always on. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
They're working. It's like a '70s comedy, like British comedy, and it's all these like kind of degenerate characters that are working in a clothing store, like
nice.
Harrods or something.
Yeah.
And it's like third floor haberdashery, fourth floor, and then like these. It's like a department store with like floors, and it's
Yeah.
very old like school where it's like there's a salespeople, and you get out like people get off the elevator, and then there's like somebody there to like serve you,
Yeah.
And then there was like this old lady and this guy who was like always kind of like ambiguously gay, like agnostically, like you knew he was gay.
A confirmed bachelor, as I used to say.
like
yeah.
because his like mannerisms, but you didn't really actually know if he was gay, kind of thing.
Just been metrosexual.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know how you got
Anyway,
to work. Yeah.
that I always liked that watching that show. And then Red Green. Have you guys ever seen that?
That was a Canadian one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went across the pond.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love that fucking show. I watch it now and I'm like, why did I like this? Like, I mean, it's funny and like whatever, but like it's Canadian humor and it's like about these it's kind of like rednecks of Canada a little
Right.
bit. Like,
yeah. I didn't watch it at the time.
it
I think
already.
I think my college roommate showed
it's
it to
fun.
me.
I
at some
still like
point.
it, but I'm like, I don't understand why I like this as a kid.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the way that that it's categorized in my head is like Home Improvement if Home Improvement was just Tool Time.
okay. No, that's a very fair characterization, I think.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is another
Yeah,
live action
it's-
show, but yeah.
I was gonna bring it up, like
Yeah.
Home Improvement.
Man, see, there's too many.
There's
Yeah.
a lot.
Because we
Yeah.
always do Home Improvement. Home Improvement is
better.
another one where it's like watch it every single week.
Oh,
Sat
yeah,
down
yeah.
with the family, and then same. I think the kid had sex again, and then my parents told me it's not okay.
Sorry, can't watch it.
Yeah, Hollywood trying to push ideals on children. Yeah.
Bastards.
Man,
Yeah. Degenerates.
degenerate. People don't have sex. That's not a
Yeah.
human thing.
True.
Exactly. That's why the
right.
species is dying out.
Only for married folk and degens.
For baby
That's right.
making.
And Disco Savage.
All right.
Disco Savage.
All right. Well.
All right, well that's it. I think I
it
don't
for
want
you?
to talk anymore.
Cool.
I'm done.
I think that's gonna finish it off for this first segment of Wax Nostalgic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna move on to our not sponsors, and then we'll be
Snot
back in
sponsors.
just a sec.
Snot sponsors.
I've been Disco Savage.
And we've been Ryan and Graham.
Ryan, we've been Ben Kerbag. No,
John.
John Kerbags. God damn it.
John Kerbags and Disco Savage. All right, we'll catch
See
you
ya.
on the other side.
The mythology deepens.
Hey Ryan, did you hear about the Weird Al concert coming up?
Did I? Did I?
Did you? Isn't it your favorite artist?
Yeah, he should be everyone's favorite artist.
He's certainly mine.
Excellent.
In the future, after I see his show next
What's
year.
your favorite?
I'm going to both shows.
Which ones? Denver and Colorado Springs?
Definitely. Albuquerque, I hear, is nice too.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there are many more shows in his tour for our nationwide listeners.
Yep. If you're listening to this from somewhere that's not Colorado, how the fuck did you hear about us?
Very good question.
The algorithm.
That's right. But yeah, as far as I know, Red Rocks, the
The
Denver show-
weird algorithm.
the weird algorithm.
Weird algorithm.
See, you're not the only. I can do puns too.
Smooth. But yeah, the Red Rock show is June 24th, and that one sold out pretty quickly, but you can still buy resold tickets for, a premium.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but drive a little further to Colorado Springs. September 4th, there's still a lot of tickets there, so.
Sick.
Love it, man.
What's your favorite Weird Al song?
I mean, it's probably Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to give us 11 minutes or so of that song?
Way back when I was a little bitty boy, living in a box in the corner of the basement of the house, half block down the street from Jerry's bait shop. You know the place. Well, anyway, back then things were going swell and everything was just peachy, except of course for the undeniable fact that
Just cut it. All right, everybody, welcome back to part 2 of this episode of Wax Nostalgic. This second portion is going to be fun. We're going to talk about some wet fights. And by that, I mean water fights, water balloons, water guns, all of that. Just getting damp with our friends. So, without further ado, who wants to start us
Where's
off?
Chris Hansen when you
I can start us off.
Yes, please do.
It'll probably be a little less sexual than you made it sound.
It wasn't sexual. I was talking about super soakers and water balloons.
Balloons.
Water balloons.
What t-shirt contest?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have two ones I can talk about. I'll talk about one of them mainly. So, sorry, now I'm just like rethinking. I should have thought of this before we started talking. But I have a friend who I used to do like a lot of sleepovers with when I was a kid in England.
We're talking about water balloon fights, not sleepovers.
No, I know.
Talk about just getting wet with your friends.
No, but we got into a pattern where like we would do these big water fights. But now I'm considering that we might talk about sleepovers on a later episode, and I probably will talk about this stuff then. So I'll talk about the other story this time.
Okay,
So that's a teaser. Come back when you see.
Next episode.
Wow. I'm locked in, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody can't wait for the talking about sleepovers. But the one I will talk about is at my school in Japan, where I was for like middle school and the first part of high school. They would do something every year called the food fair. And it was an event where, it was an international school. So there were students from kind of all over the world. There's definitely concentrations higher from like America and England and stuff like that, since it's an English language school.
Yeah.
But, there are people who would come there from, I don't know, Eastern European countries, and they speak English as a second language. So they're, competent enough to learn in English. And, there's no Czech schools in Yokohama, Japan,
Right.
So yeah, it's just like a, kind of melting pot, you might say, of all these different cultures. So food fair was the opportunity for, parents in the community to set up a stall, cook some foods from their country. You can go around, like pay a little money, it's like a fundraiser type of thing.
Sure.
Like a potluck fundraiser?
Yeah,
Okay.
just like kind of all over campus, like on the playgrounds and stuff like that, kind of thing.
Cool.
Epcot Center.
Yes, we went to Epcot Center.
Isn't that what kind of Epcot is? Is like
I don't know. Let's say yes.
Yeah, I think you're actually,
yeah,
right
I think
on
it's
there.
like different countries, and each little area has their own. Like,
okay, yeah, that sounds right then.
stuff.
Yeah, but like for instance, I ate kangaroo there for the first time, even though I was
Whoa.
born in Australia.
Is it good?
It's kind of just like beefy,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not
Well,
bad.
have you seen the size of some of these kangaroos?
Yeah, they're pretty beefy.
Beefcakes.
Yeah.
Would not want to be kicked by one of those bad boys.
That's
Kicked
right.
or punched, right? Like,
Yeah, or tail whipped. I don't know.
Kangaroos are Pokemon.
That's right.
So anyway,
Well, everyone knows that tail whip only increases your speed.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway, Pokemon. So this is all a lot of backstory to say. 1 or 2 years, I can't remember specifically, the incentive to volunteer to help clean up after food fair was that you got to have a big water fight on campus.
Nice.
Cool.
So some of the mothers, like the PTA, whatever, that kind of thing, they just brought like a bunch of little water guns and water balloons. And basically it's kind of a thing where it was like a little bit of, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because you're cleaning up after food fair and then you're making a whole other mess with a ton of popped balloons everywhere. So then you need to clean that up as well.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it was fun. And, it was an opportunity to, just like be at school causing a manageable mess. But like in a
So
way.
were there like water guns and like, was it the
Yeah.
whole, everything was like a
The
battle?
whole arsenal.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
And it was like, it wasn't organized to the point of like having any teams or anything like that. It was just like free for all, just, it's hot, throw water at each other, whatever. But it was a lot of fun. And it's, kind of fun to, if you go somewhere and it's serious all the time, to go there and just be silly,
Yeah.
So that was a pretty entertaining thing. So yeah, any PTAs out there who are thinking of ways to to incentivize children to help clean up, just think of, maybe water fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds effective to me.
That's
I would
right.
go do it.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the real ulterior motive of this whole podcast is to influence PTAs. So
Yeah.
that's why-
Secret committee.
that's why I
here.
figured
Oh,
I'd get
that's
that plug
actually
in.
one of our not sponsors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
PTA committees of all the different schools.
I'm sure once they listen to our podcast, they'll be like, no, we are not stepping.
Yeah, the
we're
last
not.
episode about swearing. That was a good one for all the kids to jam to.
That's
They'll
right,
learn a
yeah.
little
Yep.
something.
Well, kids learn things somewhere. It might as well be here,
Yeah, we're the right guys to learn from.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, look at how successful we are.
It's just real upstanding citizens here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got things going for us.
We have things going. Things.
Did you want to tell your sleepover water fight story too, or are you gonna save that?
I feel like it's,
Did you guys have a water fight while you were sleeping?
Dream
are you
fight.
asking if I wet the bed? Because yes, but no, I'm just kidding.
No, like
it was-
sleepwalking, but with like guns.
No,
And water
it was,
guns
there was, no, it was in the daytime. It was during the awake hours. We can tag it
okay.
on there. The other one didn't go very long. His dad was a farmer. They lived in farmland, but
Nice.
confusingly to me, probably still to this day, the farm where his dad actually farmed was not the farm that their property was on. So it was just like this, countryside, largish house
okay.
with like big garden around it, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was this thing where, for whatever reason, we just became, we got into the habit of just having like essentially a weekly sleepover. It's like, I don't know, Friday night, whatever it would be. One of us would sleep over at the other one's house. And yeah, water fights were one of the things that we would do. And it was just two of us just, going ham with water balloons and water pistols and accidentally wandering into stinging nettles and, fun stuff like that.
Oh man.
Those stinging nettles in UK are gnarly.
That's true. But the trick is, for all you PTAs out there, if you wander into stinging nettles, just find some dock leaves. They're kind of like big, broad leaves. If you squish them and put them on the stinging nettles, it kind of soothes it. So, yeah.
On the actual wound itself?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
just kind of rub it on there.
Interesting.
Guys, I still don't know what this has to do with horse chestnuts.
Come to think of it, yeah, I don't think we ever did conkers with the horse chestnuts at this friend's house.
Did you do conkers with stinging nettles?
No.
You should have. That's how you win.
That's how you win.
That's right.
Injure the other player.
As they're doing their winding up to swing, you just sting them a little bit on their knuckles with it.
And then pull out pocket sand.
All right.
Just right in their face. Ah! I won.
Haha, the loser is the one who's crying.
That's right. Yeah, England's a weird place.
That's a weird place.
Yeah. So, yep.
Cool.
Water fights.
Yeah, fun.
Fun.
Great.
Yep.
Did you want to go next? You want me to go next?
Sure, I can go. I think at some point, I don't remember the exact time. I was probably like 7 or something, 7 or 8. Like, I discovered super soakers.
Oh, you were the one who discovered them.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You did the world a service.
I went on an exploration to Toys R Us.
Unearthed them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see like the hieroglyphs in the magazines?
glowing neon green tanks.
Do you guys remember the catalogs?
Vaguely.
Like the Toys R Us Dude, like the Christmas version was like epic. It was like that thick. It was like an inch
nice.
thick, dude. And you're just like, you just went through and you're like, dolls, nah, fuck that. Like Barbies, nah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Baby stuff.
RC cars? Yeah.
RC car. Yeah, you went
Super
straight.
soakers?
You went straight to
Yeah.
like the Legos, the Super Soakers, like RC cars, all the video game stuff.
Crossfire. Sorry,
Callback.
we had to plug one of those into every episode.
I always wanted a
That's right.
Crossfire, but then I actually played it and I was like, this sucks.
That's how a lot of life ends up being, I feel.
Well, you guys saw the commercial? It looks
Yeah.
like it's like the most exciting
The
thing
dopest.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the world.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. You can't convince me otherwise.
You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I was at my friend's house and we were like typical like water fight thing scenario. But he had a super soaker and it was like just the original one with the tank, like the oblong tank that's
Yeah.
screwed in.
Yep.
And you pumped it up
Yeah.
and then it like and I was like, man, this is freaking sweet. And I just became like obsessed with super soakers because I was like, this is how you win the water fight.
Right.
You just have to have more water at a higher pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
And like
Shoot harder,
blast them
farther.
away, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, I remember I had a super soaker and it was like the mega like super. Somehow I convinced my parents to buy it for me, and it had a handle up here like a fire hose,
Oh.
and you pulled it, and it was two. It had 2 streams, and it was like, dude, like the pressure was like insane.
Wait,
right?
but you still had to pump it to
Yeah,
build
you
the
had to
pressure.
pump it
Okay.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it had like a and I can't remember if it had a backpack or whatever, but like the tank itself was like huge
Oh,
too.
whoa.
But the problem is, at one point, it stopped working correctly, And instead
Started finding real bullets.
of soaking them,
Yeah.
it started soaking me. I think the seal. Now I'm thinking about it. I didn't know what was going on as a kid. I'm like, what the fuck? But I think the seals broke. Maybe I overpumped it.
Yeah.
And I would do this. It would just like
That's when you
like gallons of water
when you
just like soaking me. I'm like,
double agent. You like pump it out or like leave it full and ready on like the side of the road and like
Yeah.
a thing that says like Graham's Arsenal, do not touch.
Yeah,
and then
right.
your enemy team will come up and be like, ha, we got his good gun. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
so-
You got to rig it so the
Joke's on them.
backpack explodes or something. Yeah.
yeah. And I think I remember being so obsessed with Super Soakers that I remember drawing different prototype
nice.
drawings of different
custom
models.
design.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Awesome.
send this to Super Soaker and they're gonna make me a custom.
to Reginald Von Super Soaker.
Yeah, I remember the problem though was some like my friend started drawing them and his looked like dicks.
Oh. I'm sure there's a market for that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you should.
The
draw,
only ones they still sell.
I don't think you should draw us any more Super Soakers.
No,
Your
no,
parents are gonna see this.
It's two
You're gonna get in
tanks. One is a
trouble.
backup. Yeah. Oh boy.
That's pretty
Yeah.
funny. Custom
then-
design.
Yeah. I had like a whole. I used to just draw like stuff like that. and then-
You were born at the wrong time because I bet kids these days. I bet like if they had access to a 3D printer,
oh, dude, we should.
Dude.
yeah.
Find
Great,
somebody
thanks.
with
Now
3D printers and
my
make some-
Super Soaker obsession is back, and I'm gonna start 3D printing.
Yeah.
Next time you come in here, this will be a lab.
Right.
Yeah.
We're like.
Well, the thing is, you're gonna need to be careful because I don't know a ton about 3D printing, but I know enough that there's like different methods, and some of them
Yeah.
it's like it essentially makes good shapes, but then if you were ever to like put any pressure on it, it would just like snap along like the printing raster lines essentially. But there are other ones where it's stronger for that kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, like there's some where it's like resin that cures with a laser as it goes. So there's like really no
That's what
seam.
we
It's
need.
just like a solid thing. But I think those ones tend to be pretty small. So
I could make a little mini super like a.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I now I just remembered this. I don't know why I had one on a keychain.
Oh,
Just like a little blaster
Yeah, I just
pistol?
literally remembered. It was like the original style with like,
Yeah.
and it was on a little keychain.
tell me you filled it with Tabasco for when you're at the restaurant.
Oh, dude, I should have, and then shot it into his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
This is your punishment.
Yeah, poor
I
me.
thought it was a treat, but
And then I don't know. And then I just remember like I love the like, and then I remember I love those little tiny water pit like the cheap ones.
Yeah, the ones that
'cause-
broke after like 2 hours of use. Yeah.
they were small and you could just like
yeah.
You could always have it as your like
Yeah.
bonus. Somebody captures you and
Right,
you're like,
right. You're
ha!
sad. Yeah.
yeah, or just to like piss off the dog.
Fill it with pee.
Oh yeah, we all did that.
I didn't do
Oh
it.
wow,
me
that's
neither, no.
that's interesting. Fill it with diarrhea.
Vinegar would be interesting.
Same but different.
Fill it
Yeah.
with diarrhea.
Piss and vinegar. What? No.
Why doesn't my water pistol work, Mom?
I did have. Sorry, I'm stealing the limelight for a second. I did have a
dare
little
you.
water pistol for a little while that I got, and it would look like an alien's hand, and they had like a recipe that came with it for making like alien goo, and it was just like mixed dish soap in with the water, so it's like a little bit green.
So it's got bubbles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really inventive.
Yeah, it really didn't work that well. I tried it because I was like, "There's no way this really does much to it," and sure enough, it didn't.
Is this
yeah.
real alien goo?
Right.
It's their way of like tricking kids into doing dishes.
All right.
What you do
Now
is you
spray it
mix
on
it
your
with
plate.
dishwasher soap, and then you spray it on your dirty dishes, and
Yeah.
then put them in the dishwasher for.
It's kind of
final
like
rinse.
there's like a thing that I've seen. I've never used it, but you can get like an attachment for like a garden hose that like infuses soap into the water that comes, and you can use it for like washing your car.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
The foam cannon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I've
funky.
seen it for like. I use something like that for like fertilizer for my grass,
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
but does the same thing basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Just like cycles the water through it and then pumps it out with fertilizer.
Nice.
Is that?
And if you drink that water, does your hair grow even thicker?
Yes, it's like
Do you put pee in it?
what are those? No,
Chia pet.
chia pet. It's
Yeah.
like chia pet, but for people.
Yeah.
People pet.
People pet. That's good. It's not allowed.
Well,
People pet, dude.
depends on the country you're.
Dude, I always wanted a chia pet when I was a kid, but like, why?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean,
'Cause-
literally, you're just like taking care of.
Because the internet told you
Plants.
you wanted it. Yeah.
It's really, I think it's like a pet rock. It seems like, sounds like a good idea. And then you're like, why did I bother with this? Like,
This
Right.
is the worst $400 I ever spent.
Yeah.
oh, we should talk about Tamagotchi at some point.
Yeah,
Speaking of
that
pets.
was kind of on my
Yeah.
my short list of things to talk about at some point. But
Anyway, that it's kind of all I got. Probably, I guess like the only thing is I can say is like I remember water balloons and they were always kind of a pain in the ass to fill up, and
Right.
they would break. Either they would break randomly
Yeah.
in your hand,
Yeah.
or you throw them and they just bounce off.
they
people.
wouldn't break.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's
What
like
a-
there's
yeah.
like a window
Come on.
of optimal.
Surely somebody must have
fillage.
engineered.
Right.
Yeah.
If you underfill it, it won't break. If you overfill it, it'll pop too soon. So you got to figure out. Also, like if you overfill it, it's hard to tie it.
The tie. So, and then I was over at my friend's house recently, and they have a thing where it's I think you like attach it to the spout, the spigot, and it has like 25 already like ready to go water balloons things. So you turn it on, they
Oh.
all fill up at
And they're
once.
pre-tied, and
Yeah.
when you pull them off, they just
Yep.
What?
yeah.
Why didn't we
What
have?
is this future we're living in?
Yeah.
I know.
know.
They fall into a bucket and you're ready to go, as opposed to try to fill them up one by one.
So okay, but you must have to load that thing yourself. Like you don't just buy a whole new head that's got them installed.
I think
think
you do.
Yeah.
I think it's like a disposable thing, and it's got these like little white
Yeah.
straws that come off of
Oh.
it, and there's like balloons attached. There's like 25 balloons, and you plug it in, fill it up, plop them off, and then throw it away. And it's
Guys,
just like
I'm just realizing right now this was such a hot summer. Why didn't we have any water fights?
I know.
If these things exist,
yeah,
super soakers, mega
we
balloon
could have one in here.
things.
just right in here.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
And let's cook some food from around the world for each other first.
All I want, I'm just imagining. All I want is like a chain here. Watch this. And it's
Yeah.
like,
like flash dance or yeah.
I was just gonna say like Nickelodeon slime.
Oh yeah.
It was just like
Or Carrie, a lot of the references we can make. Yeah.
Carrie.
Carrie. Blood.
Blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Piss.
Let's veer off of that topic. I don't.
Yeah, who brought it up for the first time?
I somehow
Sam.
did, but it wasn't intended to be. This keeps happening to me.
Yeah, that's true. For those who weren't at our improv show last night, Sam gone on a bit of a run.
We talked about piss a lot for like 5 minutes.
I had no idea.
Because
And
Ryan
so
doesn't support our art.
Now I'm
Yeah,
just
right.
Sorry, Graham doesn't support our art.
now I'm perpetuating this.
Yeah, that's all right. Hurt people hurt people.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you're all done with yours?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Cool.
With water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just done with
Just
water.
forever.
Yeah.
Fuck water.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a cul-de-sac. So
Wow.
I'm one of 4, so I have 3 siblings, and then in my cul-de-sac there were a bunch of kids in our general age range. One of them, who the guy across the street has grown up to be like my best friend, basically,
Yeah.
lifelong best friend. So somebody that I spent a lot of time with. But there was couple of houses in the cul-de-sac, and then the cul-de-sac over we had a couple other neighbors that were like my age as well. So we had like a lot of people that we could integrate into these types of scenarios, whether it was
So like make big time battles.
Yeah.
Like cool.
so we would we all had kind of our own personal arsenals, like
Yeah.
preteen boys. We had I had a big ass super soaker that was like a
Nice.
fancy one that you could change the sprayer head nozzle. It spun, so it had different. You could
Oh.
shoot one powerful beam or like a raked thing or
Oh.
multiple small streams. You could change it. It was kind of those toys, they were kind of expensive and they felt cool, but they're always prone to breaking, just like Graham's.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You start to use it one summer later and it's like trash basically. So
Yeah.
probably somewhere in my parents' garage there's still a bin full of super soakers because
Awesome.
my brothers each had one. But I was super into water balloons. I really liked water balloons, and honestly the process of filling and tying them I found really cathartic. And so I would just
Meditation. Yeah.
plug it in and just fill them up and tie them. I got really good at tying balloons and
Yeah.
just doing that. And so it was a weird thing for a kid to like be. I wasn't like into it. Wasn't like yes, but like anyone's like, oh, we have to fill.
Yes.
They're like, oh, we have to fill water balloons. I'm like, I got it. I'll do it. That's fine. Like I'm cool. So I just sit there with a bucket and just tie balloons or whatever.
Yeah, and then you don't even participate in the fight.
Yeah. Then I don't. Yeah.
All right, guys, I've had my fun.
Cool. I'm gonna go inside, dry out, towel off, and
Have a nice bubble bath.
yeah. But there was a bunch of us. Probably 10 kids or whatever, 10, 12 kids playing water balloon fights / squirt gun fights, and we. Like my house was on kind of the far end, and then it went all the way to the other far end of the other cul-de-sac, and so we had like backyards to go through and like all this stuff, and we would build like forts.
Nice.
And we took it pretty seriously. And my best friend now, he was a little bit older than the rest of us, but he built a potato cannon.
Oh, nice.
Just like those big PVC pipe.
Yeah.
Things that you fill up with an air compressor.
Yeah.
And he would fill it up just with water, not with water balloons, but he would just fill it to the brim with water, and then he would just walk out and just like open it and just like explode and like
That's so cool.
shoot super hard. And he would always use it as like this threat because it was pretty powerful. If you got hit close range, it would like hurt.
I'm sure.
It wouldn't just be like, oh, you got me wet. It was like, ow, like,
Yeah.
you hurt me.
Yeah.
But there was one time when my neighbor, that guy, and his younger brother Trey, who is now like the most badass person I know, but at the time he was just kind of a squirrely guy.
Squirrely
But him and his friends were like participating in the fight.
Mouse. Yeah.
And my older brother went over and like snuck through their base and like got their hose and just like climbed on this kid's back, like the friend of my neighbor's back, and kind of
Choked him
like
out with
pinned him
the
down
hose?
and just was like holding the hose in his face, just like spraying
Like waterboarding him?
Yeah, just like spraying him in the face, just like fucking stop. And the parents were all pissed off, and everybody was like angry. And Chris, my friend, comes over with the potato can. He's like, "I'm gonna blast you point blank if you don't stop." And Carl's like, I'm gonna just like.
It's so funny how intense those things can get.
Like it probably wasn't even that intense, but at the time it felt like this was like
Right. He's gonna shoot him with
he's gonna shoot him with the
point
cannon.
blank. Yeah.
Like this is
Just because he's waterboarding a kid.
that's not a fair trade. Whatever.
I mean, literally, he's just committing war crimes casually in the backyard.
Spraying him down, but
Where's George W. when you need
Yeah. Turn your blind eye as usual.
it? As usual.
there was a base in the middle in ruins. But it was always really fun, just like large groups. And then I did some of it with like my friends, but it was mostly like that neighborhood crew. It was like that's what we did. And in the wintertime, guess what? We did snowball fights. Like it was, we had like teams that were set, and we had our skills and strengths, and we would just. It was always like red versus blue or whatever, like our team versus their team in whatever seasonal fight there was. Leaf fights in the fall time.
Leaf fights?
Flower fights in spring.
What? Eat pollen, bitch. Yeah.
Your allergies are going to be fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, lots of fun with the water fights, water balloon fights. I think it would still be fun to do that sometime as an adult. Like, get a group of our adult friends together and underfill water balloons and just huck them at each other as hard as we can. Just like, oh yeah, I used to say, even when we were in like high school, we did this stuff, and I'd be like, I have a friend who's a pitcher on the baseball team. I'm gonna invite him to the next water balloon fight, so he's gonna peg you real good.
Right, 1 in every 3 water balloons might have a baseball inside.
So
yeah. No, it's thinking of the potato cannon shooting water. Water is more powerful than people tend to think.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
have you guys
seen
ever?
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Avatar. Yeah, but have you guys ever seen like water cutter, like CNC type machines? Yeah, just like uses a stream of water to cut through like metal and things like that.
There's enough pressure.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Same with air.
Yeah.
Like if air is pressurized enough, it can like puncture your skin and.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy. And then mix them together inside of a potato can.
Dude. Have you ever filled a water balloon with ice cubes and thrown it at somebody? No, no. I haven't either.
You take a water balloon,
Speaking
freeze
of war
it,
crimes,
freeze it so it's just a ball of ice.
Right.
But it's still a water balloon, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's water. It's water in some state.
Yep.
Speaking of, water can be very powerful.
That's right.
When it's ice.
Iced or iced.
Yeah.
Don't try that at home, kids.
Yes, please
The PGA is definitely
Try
not
to
going to
get friends
sponsor us.
home.
now.
PTA does not approve of ice fights.
Yeah, kids don't ice fights.
No nice fights.
Yeah.
Did you want to try that again?
Kids do not be fighting ice.
Fighting Iceman.
Icemen?
Icemen, Icelandic people.
Icelanders?
You
Yes.
can be Icelandic.
But you can't
We give you permission.
fight Icelandic.
Islander. Do not fight with islanders.
Yeah.
I think that's the main takeaway.
Yeah.
So, do we have anything else that we wanted to talk about on this topic?
I was going to say, we were firmly on the rails right there. We were not off the rails at all.
No,
What are you
yeah,
talking
rails
about?
were good.
Yeah, the rails were in place and we were in our place.
This is kind of an offshoot story that I wasn't actually part of, but I always wanted to be. But for a while at my high school, some of the seniors would, on like senior ditch day or whatever, they would make a bunch of water balloons and fill up squirt guns and stuff, and then they would sneak around to like one of the elementary school field days that was going on, and they would just like the little kids are out like playing volleyball or whatever, like we talked about in a couple episodes ago at this point. But they would the seniors would all like sneak up from the bushes and then just like bombard all the elementary schoolers with water balloons. I always thought that would be super fun, but it actually died kind of the year before my
Isn't
senior
that,
year.
Doesn't that create like PTSD?
Probably. Probably. The class before me did it.
Oh, fun. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the year before me did it, and I think they got in like kind of big trouble for it.
Yeah.
And so they were like, if this happens, then
You're not graduating.
Yeah, whatever.
Gotcha.
Some big punishment. And
Yeah.
so my class just decided like not to do it.
That's
but
fair.
It was a thing that my school
never heard of
did.
that. That's wild.
Yeah, that does sound pretty fun though. Did you? Okay, this is also a tangent based on that. But did you guys do any like senior pranks at your high schools?
I didn't. I'm sure somebody did, but
Yeah.
there was nothing like super serious.
There were senior pranks. I was not I did not
Yeah.
include myself in them.
Yeah,
Mostly because I was like, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want any
That
more
was
trouble.
kinda
I'm, like,
where I'm
I'm
at.
ready to get out of this school, and I don't
Yeah.
want any trouble.
No, exactly. There was like two
Like-
that I knew of at my high school when I was a senior that I was not a part of, except for trying to undo one of them because someone like released a bunch of crickets in the library,
Oh,
which is
wow.
such a
Oh my
It's
god.
wacky.
yeah, such a weird. So I was like trying to catch these crickets and put them outside because I'm like they're just gonna die in the stacks of books.
And you gotta have the books all the next year, kids.
There's a
Right.
nest all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then the other one that was like so stupid, but I guess some people thought it was funny was as we were going across the stage, like shaking the principal's hand to like get our degree, they just had jelly beans and they would like each give him a jelly bean. And they're like, yeah, and then he won't be able to carry all the
So
jelly beans. But instead-
inconsequential. Like,
It's the
And then-
stupidest fucking thing I've ever.
And then all that happened was when he got a lot of jelly beans in his hand, he just like gestured to someone behind him, like, "Could you take these?" You know, just like, "Haha, I got him."
gotcha.
I think
He's like-
I remember somebody released a stink bomb in one of the wings of the school,
Oh boy.
and that was,
That was a bad
dude,
one.
it smelled so bad. People were like running, crying.
I don't remember anything like that. We had, like I said, prior to my year, we had kind of that little thing, which wasn't really a senior prank because it didn't
Yeah.
have to do with the school.
Right.
But then every year they would TP the like road leading up to my high school, and nobody did that my year either because they were like, if anybody does anything, then everybody's going to be in trouble, and everybody just kind of like pussed out, I think. But
Wow,
I don't remember anything.
really
from-
keeping you kids in line.
I know.
Yeah.
I was kind of a goody-goody at the time anyway. So.
Yeah.
Do you think in mid 2020 TPing was seen as a sign of affluence?
Yeah, because you're like, I TP'd your house. I have toilet paper and nobody else does, not even the stores.
Right.
Yeah.
Show off, yeah.
TP the grocery stores.
Yeah.
Just to make a statement. Egg them.
Yeah.
Eggs are like $5 each or something.
$5 an egg.
Yeah, well, they're kind of pricey right now, so that would be, yeah, it's
I think that was
show
one of the
power.
things like people are making fun of, like some of these politicians for like being out of touch. Like some of these guys, they're so rich they don't shop.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
eggs are $5 each or something. I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, you better be talking
Somehow,
about like ostrich eggs or something. Yeah.
A dozen of eggs is $60.
Yeah, it better be good eggs.
Some damn good eggs.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right. I'm all done with my water fight stuff. Do you guys
Yeah.
have
feel like
anything
you
else?
feel like you're wrung out of content.
Sham wow.
I'm wowed out. I'm shammed out.
Yeah, what a sham.
Shammed out and wowed in.
And off we go.
Cool.
Get sick.
All right.
Freaking
So
sick, bro.
that's going to finish it for us here today. That's the end of our segment here.
Yeah.
So
episode
number
is it 10 maybe?
This has got to be 10, I think. But
Oh, guys, I heard I was at a business conference this week. I heard a statistic: 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 9
Ooh.
as long as we put one out
or
next
something,
week,
7 or 9 or whatever. I'm like, oh, we're almost there.
yeah,
That's
we're
right.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
all right. So anyway,
As we're recording this, episode 8 is out. Episode 9 should be coming out next week.
Yeah.
But this, I believe, is episode 10. So this is basically
sick,
season
man.
1.
Guys, we're doing it.
we're doing
Thank
it.
you so
Yeah.
much for watching.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
support. We couldn't do it without you.
It's because of you that we are as famous as we are.
It's
Yeah,
because of
all
you.
7 of you. So, anyway,
Mostly
this has
family
been
members.
Disco Savage.
Ryan.
Graham Johnstone.
And we're going to say bye. So,
John
bye.
Kerbags signing off.
Bye.
Live long and prosper.
Wax Nostalgic Podcast was produced and recorded at Black Dove Studios in Denver, Colorado. Audio post-production and engineering by Sam Bagnall. Video production and post-production by Graham Johnstone. IT and social media management by Ryan Kerwin. Check out this and other creative projects by adding to the noise at attnlab.com. That's attnlab.com.